Former New England Patriots head coach Bill Belichick recently commented on the millionaire's tax that carves out a huge chunk of the salaries for the Patriot players.
Oh, yeah, it's Massachusetts. Yeah. They take more from you. So virtually every player, even the practice squad, well, not, but even the minimum players are pretty close to $1 million. And so once you hit that $1 million threshold, then you pay more state tax in Massachusetts. So, yeah, just another thing you got to contend with in negotiations up there. It's not like Tennessee or, Florida or Nevada or some of these teams that have no state income tax.
Massachusetts. Here to discuss is Rob Eno, Blaze media critic. So, Rob, what is this real problem? Is it a real problem in Massachusetts? I like that he threw out the Tennessee Titans. Like, they're not getting free agents either. Let's just be real.
Yeah, I think it actually is a problem in Massachusetts. In November of 2022, the citizens of Massachusetts actually voted to get rid of the constitutional amendment that said they can't have a progressive income tax, that they had to have a one tax rate, flat rate of 5%. And added this millionaire surtax of 4%. This, I don't think, would have happened 9 or 10 years ago. Yesterday was my 9th anniversary of leaving the Commonwealth, getting in a car and leaving.
Congratulations.
Moving to the South. Thank you very much. And moving into South Carolina before I moved here to Texas. And a lot of people like me are self-selecting, right? You remember the 2010 election, Scott Brown got elected, the whole one Ted Kennedy seat. All of those activists no longer live in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. They're all in Florida, Texas, South Carolina. They've moved away. It wouldn't have been done. And, it really does hurt. Grant Williams used to play for the Boston Celtics up until last season. He left, and he left to come here to Texas. And what he said was, in Boston, it's really like $48 million with the millionaire's tax, the $54 million that he got in Dallas. Mm-hmm. And it would actually be like $58 million in Boston that you would need to get that, and you would need to have $63 million for him to take home the same amount of money. It's where they work, right? There's this jock tax that, even if you live in Dallas, you're going to pay California taxes or Boston taxes for the day games that you do there. But if you live in Massachusetts, or if you work for the Boston Celtics, or you work for the New England Patriots, and you come to Dallas, you're still going to pay that Massachusetts tax rate because that's the state where you're earning the money. So it's a complete and utter ridiculousness. And a lot of these West Coast teams, the Dallas teams, those sorts of things, the Dallas Cowboys last year, when I looked at this, had like 4 games where they'd be taxed between playing in Florida, playing at home, and playing in other places. So it really, really makes a difference.
So this is something that's near and dear to my heart. We talk about it all the time. People are moving around the country and looking for a better way of life. Do you think that Belichick's comments, the fact he's able to say that out loud, I feel like it might have been more controversial in the past, but do you feel like those sorts of comments are going to change anything? Or is it just true, as you said, that just like in California and New York, everyone who swings red is leaving or has left?
I think that's absolutely what's happening because, look, Massachusetts is a state that in my younger days, in my 20s and in my teens, we voted to bring the income tax back down from 6.5% where they brought it to 5%, and the legislature didn't listen to us. They automatically brought it back up to 6.25. We'll get it kind of almost on the way there and had a sliding scale to bring it back. This time, the legislature of Massachusetts is going to say, oh, no, you put a millionaire's tax on, we're going to take it back, right? And it's hurting 2/3 of the CPAs in Boston, certified public accountants, that deal with high net worth individuals have said that they have at least one client that's looking to leave. This has only been 1 year, right? This was last year. People don't just pick up and leave right away, but they're making plans to leave. The owner of the Boston Celtics is making plans to leave. His family lives in Florida. He's selling the Boston Celtics, and what reason did they give in the newspaper? Estate planning. There is an estate tax in Massachusetts. His father doesn't want to have to pay the estate tax on his death so that his family members get less because his father, who owns the majority of the team, Wick Grousbeck is the person that kind of runs the team. People don't want to talk about that. They just talk about estate planning. Well, what's the estate planning? The estate planning is Massachusetts not taking 15% of your net worth that's wrapped up in the Boston Celtics.
Well,
By the way, Jill, there of all the people in the building, in case you're wondering out there, when we saw this story, I mean, Massachusetts, fiscal policy, conservatism, the New England Patriots, and we knew there was one man.
There is one man. But you know what, Rob? Nobody feels bad for the New England Patriots. Let me just throw that out there. I'm sure you're very aware. Is this actually, though, hurting the roster, or is this just something fun that Bill Belichick went out?
No. I think it's hurting the roster, and I think that all of the teams are seeing this. I think and I think the teams in California, places like the Major League Baseball in basketball, there's luxury taxes, right? You can overpay, and then you got to put some money in, and then the other teams get it, right? So the Red Sox can, if they want to, overpay and have to put into luxury tax. The Celtics, I believe that their salary was way over the salary cap. They paid some things. They can pay for it, right? So they can pay these things, like Grant Williams saying, a little bit more to get the guys. But in football, you can't do that. And I think it's really hurting in football.
Yeah, I mean, it's hurting everyone, right? And so it's to the point now where, you have money, you're gonna seek to leave, but it's not just about that. That's what's interesting about that comment. He's actually making a political statement when he says that. More importantly, what's the deal with his girlfriend? Can we
I believe she's
that?
26.
Yeah.
She's very smart.
And Bill Belichick is
72 or 73, so half his age divided by 4 instead of half his age minus 7. The Prophet Muhammad would not be happy. I believe that, what I love is that Gronk during the roast made the joke and nobody knew what he was talking about, right? Gronk goes, "Oh, now we know why you were at Foxborough High School checking out the cheerleaders," right? And nobody understood because it didn't get public until Brady's induction to the Hall of Fame that he was doing it. Apparently she's smart. They met on a first-class trip and they talked about, Austrian economics or something, and Bill Belichick found her very smart, and
I'm sure she's lovely. You know what? I just can't wait for college football season to start tomorrow. I know you guys are NFL people, but college is my wheelhouse, and I cannot wait for the season to officially kick off tomorrow night.
It's going to be fun. I've actually become a college football fan since I've moved to the South. I was in South Carolina for the Clemson run, so I went to a few Clemson games.
Okay.
I left. They haven't won since, so I don't know if it's me or if it's not me. But
I won't make Peterson adopt my Iowa Hawkeyes because they have the worst offense in the entire country, so I won't do that to you. I won't put you through that pain. But your Buffalo Bills, they might stand a chance this season.